Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I ponder how it anatomically works when Shaun sees a bunny girl, his eyes pop out of his head as he goes, "Awooga!"
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase. It's an enigma, Shaun. I wish I understood.
I didn't realize that I operate under cartoon physics when I get horny.
Well, see, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I thought it was only a cartoon thing, but then I met you and I've witnessed it occur multiple times throughout our friendship, and so and every time, like, I never want to bring it up because it's like, hey, you don't want to be an asshole about just how somebody's body works, but at the same time, it's like, oh my god, it's an anomaly.
What if this is somebody's first episode, Rem? Just out of curiosity, how quickly do you think they're going to turn off when they start talking about me and bunny girls?
I think that there's a couple possibilities, right?
Okay.
Either they're a weeb, in which case they're likely just thinking, me too, brother. Or they're not a weeb, in which case I don't think they meant to click on episode 300, whatever the fuck, of this podcast. I think they misclicked and didn't even make it that far. I think they quickly were like, oh no, this isn't where I'm supposed to be.
Well, actually, Rem, with today's anime, that might not be the case. A non-weeb could very easily have clicked on this particular episode out of curiosity.
All right, we're done with anime, thank God. I've been asking for it for years, and finally.
Oh, no, Rem. No, don't be ridiculous. The reason I say that is because, we're going back to the old well. Rem, we're talking about Studio Ghibli today.
Oh, okay. All right, sure. Hey, sure.
Yeah, and like I said, what is more normie than watching Studio Ghibli films and saying, yeah, I've seen anime?
All right. I tend to enjoy Studio Ghibli, asterisk. I tend not to really enjoy their plots, but I really love their writing, their art, and the humanity they insert into their stories.
Yeah. And so we've been doing a lot of new shit lately, Rem. we've been covering like all of like the up-to-date current hits.
Yeah, it's time to rewind. It's time to back it up.
Yeah, because like we can't have people thinking that we're just like a topical, like on the spot podcast. No. We got to cover things that people haven't asked about for a hot minute. Otherwise, where will our street cred go?
Yeah, of course.
And not to mention, it's been a while since you and I have talked about a Ghibli film, asterisk. But, and I figured, hey, you know what? Let's just dive into a nice, straightforward, easy one. And hey, Rem, it's got one of your favorite things in it. It's got a cat.
All right. I'm glad you spoke first, because that's not what I was going to guess. But I was going to guess it does sometimes occur in Ghibli, and I tend to appreciate it as a narrative tool, but it would risk being very tactless depending on what this is. Like if I guess child murder, and then you're like, it's Grave with the Fireflies too.
It's a little hard to have a sequel to that movie. little hard to have a sequel to that movie, considering it ends at the beginning. Just a completely unrelated other pair of children who were displaced by World War II.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure that won't feel like kitschy and
maybe you go into the future and it's a couple of kids displaced by World War III. That could be compelling. Or you go way into the past. Just way into the past. It's
a couple of kids displaced by the fucking shogunate.
No, it's just two kids living tragic lives and they're cavemen.
So you want year one, but anime and about children dying.
Shaun, I worry that I've set this episode of the podcast, as you know, I occasionally do, off on the wrong foot. There's just occasionally.
I mean, you made me reference Year One, which is a movie I'm sure nobody has thought about in over a decade.
Oh,
Nor should
man.
they. Nor should they. It's a fucking awful movie. I had the misfortune of seeing it in theaters.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I am only vaguely familiar with it. And there's only one very particular reason why I've considered it in the past year, which for some of our listeners, that'll make them perk their ears. And they shouldn't.
No.
They shouldn't.
No.
They kind of should, but also they should.
Yeah, absolutely not. And if you're wondering if I remember anything from that film, of course not. It's got Jack Black in it. That's all I remember.
And Michael Cera.
Yeah, but let's be real. Michael Cera, while very talented in a lot of films, is so forgettable in a lot of bad films.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I feel like a caveman buddy cop dynamic between those two. Michael Cera's the reason why that wouldn't work in my mind.
Yeah.
But hey, all right, we're not talking about year one probably. What are we talking about?
That
great Ghibli film, Year One.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Can you imagine how the fucking riots if just have Jack Black star in a Studio Ghibli movie?
Oh, fucking hell. People would be furious.
The stylistic and tonal disparity there would be wild.
Yeah. I mean, people loved Robert Pattinson in the most recent Ghibli film.
He was in a Ghibli? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, he's in the dub for The Boy and the Heron.
Oh, I'm a Pattinson stan. One of my favorite movies is The Lighthouse. Him and Defoe, baby. Oh my god.
Yeah. So eventually we'll cover that movie, but I have to see it. I haven't had the chance.
All right, what the fuck are we doing here?
No, we're going much farther back in Ghibli. I think this is maybe the 10th Ghibli film, if I remember correctly. Somewhere in that ballpark. From the year 1995, the movie we're going to be covering today is Mimi wo Sumabseba, or Whisper of the Heart. Tell me, Rim, have you heard of that one?
Not a single time. And I feel like, while I'm not wildly accustomed to anything anime, I feel like I've at least heard of most of Ghibli's like heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty solid. It's definitely one of the Ghibli films that I would like hardcore categorize as like shoujo-esque, right? Like the demographic just feels like it's written for it's a story for young girls primarily. And it's adapted from a manga of the same name.
Sure.
And it's I think it's just like a short little like 1-volume manga if I remember correctly. I genuinely do not remember off the top of my head. Either that or the point is, Rem, it's a manga from the 80s adapted in the 90s for a film. And it's more or less the easiest way I could describe it to you is a little bit Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
A little bit Peter Pan.
Sure.
And a little bit Dr. Seuss. And I want to elaborate on what makes it Dr. Seuss, but you'll figure it out very quickly when you start watching it.
Is there a cat in a hat?
I'm not at liberty to say.
It's gonna pop up. It'll just be like a fucking Cheshire ass cat, but it'll have a hat on, and it'll be like, "There we go, there it fucking is."
Oh god. But no, Rem, it's a little fairly soft fantasy story about our main character, Shizuku Tsukishima. She's a 14-year-old girl who just loves reading and writing poetry, and she happens to notice that at her small little library that a lot of library books are checked out by a boy named Seiji Amasawa. And being a young curious thing, Shizuku is interested in learning about this fella who happens to be reading, and there's just a bit of a weird fantasy integration that involves a meeting with a cat known as the Baron. Yeah.
Yep. He's got a big old Baron hat.
You never know. I mean, it could mean anything.
God damn it.
Really, Rem, this is just kind of a weird little soft, almost a romance Ghibli film, but also just like a little child fantasy story with just some weird cat-based shenanigans. And I just figured it would be a nice little break from the whole diatribe you went through talking about 1 week of getting incredibly angry and 1 week of getting overwhelmingly happy. I needed to give you a nice, soft Ghibli film to cool you down.
Yeah. It's been heated. It's been
Yes, it is. It is very much a soft film about a young girl developing a relationship with a boy and their shared interests, and there just also happens to be, a little bit of magical cat shenanigans.
Of course, of course.
Why not? Why not? And who doesn't want a cat named the Baron in their life?
Well, and Shaun, it's crazy that you bring that up because if you look right outside your bedroom door right now, I'd like to introduce you to the Baron. We just found him.
I see.
He was just around, and we were
got on the same train as him.
Yeah.
I see.
My girlfriend was like, "Oh, can we keep him?" And I was like, "Fuck no," because 3 cats is more than enough. And I was like, "Don't worry, we have a very happy home for him," and so just sent him your way. Just broke in, plopped the cat down, left.
That's very impressive considering, just the state of the Baron in this film. Though I will say, unironically, Hermaeus has been periodically meowing at my door this whole time. I don't know if any of it showed up on the recording, but
hasn't been Hermaeus, bud.
Hey, let me tell you, definitely has. He says hello sometimes. It is very concerning. Oh, yep, there it is again. All right. I'm sorry Dylan's not home right now, buddy. Forget.
He's protesting.
All right. He's very upset because, if Dylan's not home, Hermaeus hangs out with me usually.
Angry little cat.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think without further ado, let's just go straight into it. Let's go watch some Whisper of the Heart. And we are back after watching the entirety of the 1995 film Mimi wo Suma Seba, or Whisper of the Heart. Now tell me, Rem, are you feeling a little bit of that magical romance in the air, or are you a little confused by the nature of the cataverse, as it were?
Well, Shaun, first of all, I just want to establish that you've always been my favorite mountain mama. So I just want to... I want to open up with that.
Okay, I'll take it.
Possibly the most bewildering start to a Ghibli film.
Oh yeah,
that we.
Yeah,
I had to.
I wasn't joking when I said Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I had to double check. I had to make sure I was watching the right thing. Make sure I was watching in Japanese.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the very start of the movie, how it opens up is with some good old country roads, take me home.
Yeah.
And that wasn't I don't expect to hear that song in any anime. Right? That's just not... it's a hell of a choice to throw into an anime, and especially because of how American it is, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it is one of the American songs.
West Virginia, it's just all It's just not what I would expect.
No.
So that came as an immediate shock.
Yes.
Another shock that came a little bit later was recognizing that this is fucking Lo-Fi Girl.
Yeah.
This is OG Lo-Fi Girl, what new Lo-Fi Girl is based on. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was also a pseudo jump scare where I was just like, what?
Well, hey, I wanted to make sure you were able to chill and study,
Yeah, of course. So
to country roads.
Lots of surprises.
Yes.
Lots of surprises. There has to be a Lo-Fi Country Roads, right? One sec.
I mean, surely.
Lo-Fi Country Roads. Oh, this version's so fucking sad. I'm gonna send it to you.
Uh-oh.
It's so sad.
Oh, the thumbnail's very sad. That's like a sad grayscale cartoon watermelon. What's going on?
Yeah.
My lo-fi fruits.
So anyway, so there are indeed Lo-Fi Country Roads, and they are. I just found another remix too. They're just all tragic. They're all.
I mean,
they're
yeah.
Turns out when you lo-fi something like Country Roads, right, where the thing that makes it in any way positive is sort of the bombast of it, right?
Yeah.
But lo-fi takes the bombast, and musically, without the bombast, Country Roads, I mean, as Whisper of the Heart shows, with its different variations of Country Roads, which we will get a handful of.
Oh yeah.
It can just be very melancholic.
Yes. Like, I couldn't spoil the country roads thing, Rem.
It is just a crazy opening. So, we open up and we contrast that song with opening of like, you know, good old Tokyo cityscape, all the different crowds and whatnot, and we see we get to meet our protagonist Shizuku. Right, we meet her, and she gets a bunch of books, and she realizes that all the books she's been getting, they've been from the library. They've already been checked out by this guy Amasawa Seiji. He's like, what the hell? Who the fuck is this cunt?
Is everything you say when you go to try and get a book from a library and it's already been taken out, you know?
yeah. And so she's like, this whoever the fuck this is, he reads all the books I do. And she's just curious about who that might be. At school, she goes to the library some more, finds a rare book, and is like, no one has checked this book out. And it's like, fuck you, Seiji. But it's been donated by a Dr. Amasawa. So it's like, motherfucker, it's Amasawa all the way down. What the fuck?
This bastard.
This motherfucker. Then she hangs out with her friend Yuko, right? They're close friends, Shizuku and Yuko, and they're planning on singing. I don't know. Is it for like a festival or some performance or something?
Yeah.
So, you know, just a vague school performance that they're doing. And they're gonna sing a translation of Country Roads. And so Shizuku has been tasked to translate it, and does so, and it's like fine with it. But that was, she kind of didn't care too much about the basic translation. She had more fun making a parody song called Concrete Roads, which was contrasting the sense of freedom of and wilderness of the original song with sort of the concrete box of how she felt in Tokyo, basically, right? And it's just kind of silly, but also, you know, it's how she's feeling, and so they have fun with that. It also turns out that her friend Yuko got like a love letter, and it's like, ooh, and interrogating a little bit more about the friend. The friend is super into this other guy, Sugimura. She's super into him. As they're walking home, Shizuku's like, oh fuck, I left my book. Goes back to the school to grab it. Sees a guy reading it, and he teases her a bit and gives back the book. She gets super pissed about his teasing in the way that, you know, adolescent teens do.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how fucking dare you? That has been a personal affront that I will never live down, even though it was just us two there, and it was a very mild teasing, but it's just, you know, the nature. She's fiery. She's fiery, and so she gets heated. She like frustratedly walks home and is like the whole time basically like, oh, you fucking motherfucker, just fucking reading my shit the whole time.
It is very authentic to the adolescent experience, I feel.
Oh yeah, well, and this is one of the things Studio Ghibli does better than just about anybody else, and we certainly see it here, is just how authentic everything feels and how like lived in the world is. It feels lived in and real like nothing else. Just all the little details that it puts into everything, every environment, every background character, just everything happening on screen at all times. It doesn't feel, it feels like we're just happen to be taking a certain perspective in the world and following Shizuku, right? But that there is a broader world beyond. And it gives every indication that is the case. It's beautiful and insanely impressive, and holy Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
So the next day, while Shizuku's out and about running some errands and stuff, she sees a fat, scrungly cat on the train. And she's like, well, that's interesting to see a fat, scrungly cat alone on a train.
I mean, I'm interested anytime I see a fat, scrungly cat.
Yeah, it's a very cute, fat, scrungly cat. And so, it gets to a stop, and the cat takes the stop, and she's like, I'm gonna follow that cat. So it goes on a little bit of a goose chase following the fat, scrungle cat. Eventually arrives at an antique store, right? And in this antique store, there is a cat gentleman figure, the Baron, and there's an old man store owner who shows her a really cool, intricate dwarf clock. that comes with a tragic story where a dwarf will pop his head out every hour on the hour to check on the fairy princess or some shit. But for 11 of 12 hours, the fairy princess is still just a sheep, and it's only in the 12th hour that she turns back in. But the dwarf king will always check every single hour. It's
Classic fairy tale romance shit right there.
I adore the notion of a clock that tells a story, right? I'm just really into, because it's like, that ain't gonna be a mass-produced clock right there, right?
No.
That's pretty likely just like a fucking 101 at best, like a 1 of 10 or some shit. It's you're making one, maybe a small handful of those clocks, and then that's it. And those are the only ones who will get to experience this little piece of art that you have crafted. And it's wild to me to consider the fact that human beings, right? We're so creative. We make so much stuff. People are making stuff at all times, and a lot of it, there's the real popular stuff, right? And then there's the stuff that isn't popular, but it's out there, it's accessible, and that's like a lot, but you can find it. You can find it, and it's like little hidden gems that are truly everywhere. And then a layer below that is the shit that like people are creating, and only a handful will ever see. And often those will have just as much effort put in as the big mainstream stuff seen by millions. But it's just a piece of art crafted for a small handful of eyes, a small handful of ears, and just experiences, and that is crazy to me to consider. That is possibly like the greatest thing in humanity's favor that I can conceive of, honestly.
Wow, I didn't think you thought so highly of our podcast that way, Rem. That's a lot. Wow. What an ego
so
boost.
if you're one of the lucky few listeners here,
yeah.
Hey, this is a special, unique little piece of art just for you.
Oh yeah,
right?
Just for you.
Just for you. Look, to our one listener.
Our one listener.
To our one listener, man, we really appreciate it.
Yep. And you know who you are.
I mean, you're the only one listening.
Yeah, obviously.
You're the only one here. Don't let the fake numbers that we bought fool you, all right? You're the only one.
And the Patreon reads at the end? Nah, that's just you.
We put all those in to pretend legitimacy, right? That's another layer of the art.
Yeah, because we're incredibly vain, the two of us.
Yeah. The layer of art that what the fake patrons what that says about the art is just speaking to our vanity as characters on the podcast.
Yes.
Shows the clock and everything. Eventually is like, oh fuck, this is a cool clock, but I'm running late as hell. I started to get a little bit worried around this time, right?
Yeah.
So I seen the Baron and remembering what you said in part 1. And even I'd seen the cover, right? I'd seen the cover that shows Shizuku and the Baron sort of going on an adventure together.
Yep.
Which I'm fine with. I'm down with. I'm down. But I was like, it's nailing it so far, right? It's doing so good. And it's so fucking human and so well captured, like some genuinely top tier shit. And I was like, I really hope that the Baron doesn't introduce plot into this. Because we all know my opinion about Studio Ghibli. They'll be like, look at this deeply human story with characters that are so well realized and nuanced. And it'll be like, holy shit. And it's like, oh fuck, we're almost done. Here's a big plot, climactic resolution. It's like, what the fuck? Where'd that come from? And they're like, I don't know, we needed plot. And I'm like, you didn't. You did not. So that's a looming worry from like this point on in the film is, oh fuck, when the Baron does Baron things, is that gonna fuck the casual, mundane, and delightfully so vibe that this movie has going for it. And so she realizes she's late to her plans, does all that stuff. Let's see. She does see the guy again who teased her. The kid who teased her, and he's with the fat scrungle cat, and she's like, oh my god, it's his cat. It's his scrungle cat. They don't call it a scrungle cat, but that is one of the scrungliest cats I've seen in anime.
I don't think scrungle was in the vernacular when they were writing the script for this.
But if it was, if people were talking about scrungle, then it's a word that would have been used to describe this cat, because it's a scrungle cat, right? It is.
Yeah.
And I love it for it. It's just a little pudgy, very scrungly, and it's a top tier anime cat, just top tier shit. So realizes that later, next day they have like a test, and Shizuku tries to sort of wing woman Yuko for the guy she likes. And her friend is like, "Oh my god, don't embarrass me, you cunt." Later tries to go to the antique store, learns okay. Oh wait, no. What happens? She asks the librarian about Dr. Amasawa, right? Learns about that. And is like, "Oh, okay." Visits the antique store, but it's closed, and notices through the window that the Baron is gone. We also get a bit about the friend Yuko. The person who sent her love letter wasn't her crush. Rather, the crush was just sort of like sending the letter on their behalf and communicating, and was like, "Hey, so what do you think about my friend?" And obviously Yuko doesn't like that, because it's like, "No, I'm not into your friend, dumbass. I'm into you." And so Yuko not having a great time and misses school the next day. Meanwhile, the guy's just like, "What's going on?" And Shizuko's like, you dumb motherfucker. You dense cunt." The next day they talk a little bit. Shizuku just scolds him, being like, "How dense do you gotta be to not realize that somebody is obviously into you?" And then he pulls a little bit of a reverse Uno, because he's like, "Oh, but I don't like her. I like you." And we get like straight up Pikachu face from Shizuku, where it's like, "Oh, I'm the dense motherfucker."
Oh no, all the teenagers are dense motherfuckers. What do we do?
Yeah. And Shizuku's like, "Oh fuck, I overwhelmed, don't really know how to respond. We're friends, dog. You and me, we're friends." And Shizuku just doesn't really know what to do with that. And I'll be honest, this like plot point, it's not even like super resolved within the film. It's just kind of like things get awkward among friends. And it's like kind of resolved a little bit later when the guy clears stuff up with Yuko. But for the most part, it's just kind of like, fuck, adolescent awkwardness.
The worst. It's the worst.
Yeah. Later on, Shizuku goes to the shop, and it's closed, but she sees the scrungle cat and hangs out with the cat, talks with the cat a bit, and is like, "Hey cat, I think I'm as much of an asshole as you are. You're an asshole, cat, but I think I'm also an asshole." And then the guy that she's seen a handful of times, that kid shows up and recognizes the cat. He's like, "Hey, Moon." And it's like, "Oh, this is your cat?" And he's like, "Not really. It's sort of just like a community cat. He goes wherever the fuck he wants, and like he's called different names. He's just around." And Shizuku shares like, "Yeah, I think the cat and I are both assholes." And he's like, "No, you're way nicer than that asshole. The cat's an asshole, but you're fine." Like, he agrees. Hey, the cat's, which, let's face it, most star. We all agree there. There's no disagreement. I got 3 fucking little assholes in my house. You're stuck with an asshole yourself. And we love them. They're adorable.
Yeah, he does the podcast.
Got him. So they the guy is like, "Hey, yeah, let's head inside the shop, because it's my grandpa's place." Goes in. They talk about the Baron. He shows her the Baron. She looks at it and thinks about it for a while, and he's like, "I'm gonna be downstairs working on stuff." She goes downstairs, eventually sees he's carving a violin. That's what he does. He's, a violin craftsman, and he's learning. He's still learning, but he's pretty talented at it. And he can also play. So she's like, "Oh my god, you need to play me a goddamn song." He's like, "All right, only if you sing. You know this one." He starts violining Country Roads, and she's like, "Oh motherfucker." So eventually she joins in, starts singing Country Roads, and Grandpa and his friends get back, and Grandpa and his friends, they're a band, so they start playing. Just 2 kids, 3 old guys playing Country Roads. It's just a good old time.
The American dream.
It's confirmed that this kid, he's Amasawa Seiji. He's Seiji all along. He's been the one checking out all those books and whatnot. And it's like, oh my god, crazy. So they actually bond meaningfully now. After this, the next day, let's see, a little bit more of the awkward drama among friends, where it's being resolved. Shizuku asks her older sister, like, hey, when did you decide on your future? Which is a hell of a question. And I'm gonna level with you. I think most people don't. Most people will sort of think about the future sometimes. Very few decide on their future. Very few people are like, this is the direction it's going, and now I'm going to make every active effort towards it. There's a good handful who do. A significant chunk. But a lot of people sort of just let life lead them instead of the other way around. We see that we learned that Seiji, he is going to be doing an apprenticeship in Italy, right? He's like, they need to see if I have talent, and if I do, then I'll be pursuing that for a while. And I'll be doing that instead of like traditional schooling. And she's like, oh fuck, you're gonna be away for a while, and I'm just here reading books and shit. Like, I need to also do shit. That feeling, that god awful feeling that I think everybody has felt multiple times in adolescence. It's one of like the hallmark feelings of being with people and you are at the same spot, right? You're at the exact same spot, and then they start moving forward and distance is being created between you, and you're like, what the fuck? What the hell? That terrifying worry of being left behind, just existentially. So that's what Shizuku is really feeling, and Shizuku's like, all right, I need to do something. All right, I will write. That's what I'll do. Focuses on that. Your grades are starting to slip, but she's like, I'm doing something important. I don't want to talk about it now. I want to focus on this, and then I'll get back to studying and all that. And her dad is sympathetic. Her dad's like, okay, I'm gonna trust you, but I'm also, let's not pretend that it's gonna be easy. Clearly you're doing something you care about, all right? And clearly it's off the beaten path, and that's okay, as long as you don't think that it's going to be the easy choice, right? The free choice. Walking your own way, it's gonna be much, much harder. But I love you and I trust you, so go for it. Which is, very nice and supportive. We then, she eventually finishes the story, brings it to the old man at the antique shop, and is like, I read it immediately so I don't have to anxiously wait, please. And she waits, and he reads it, and he likes it, and she's like, yeah, but the back half is trash. You can tell me the back half is kind of trash. And he's like, it's messy, it's kind of trash, but that's fine. He uses a constant metaphor of a gem being trapped in a stone, and first you have to break it free from the stone, then you have to polish it. She, by writing, has broken it free. Now she needs to polish, right? A nice sort of two-step process for the creation of art, as it were. And it really, or the honing of a craft even. And so we learn about the old man's tragic backstory, which is sufficiently tragic, but I'm not going to bring it up here. It's not wildly relevant to the plot, so I'm not going to mention it, but just know it is quite tragic.
Sad old man in the Ghibli film? Who could say?
Yeah. Yes. And so Shizuku's like, all right, now I can be better at studying himself now that I've written the story I want to. And the story's all about the Baron and everything. And she has like great fantasies about it and how it goes and everything. There's one point, a lovely bit where within the story, and she's sort of like daydreaming about it, they're trapped in a strange labyrinth, and the Baron's like, hurry, you have to hurry. And she's like, yeah, but where, what do I need to grab? What do I need to do? Which is also a great metaphor for adolescence, just being hurried through a labyrinth where you don't know where the fuck to go. You don't know where the paths lead, but you're being told, hurry, come on, you gotta keep moving. You're like, but what the fuck is the right way? Where am I going? Where does any of this go? And so she wakes up the next day a little bit early, and Seiji is outside, and she's like, oh my god. And she rides with him. They go up a hill, and there's a really nice interaction where he's struggling to bike her up the hill, just on the back of his bike. And she's like, should I get off? He's like, no, I wanna take you up the hill. He has these like romantic notions. And she's like, no, okay, I ain't gonna be a burden. I'm gonna be helpful. I'm gonna be useful. I'm gonna help push you up the hill. And he's immediately like, all right, sounds good. Sounds great. And that's healthy chivalry, all right? To be like, hey, I got this. And then if they're like, no, hey, don't worry, I'm here to help out. You don't be like, oh no, you delicate flower, I could never allow you to do such a thing. You say, all right, sounds great. Fuck yeah. That's how that goes. All right. They look over misty sunrise of the city. They talk about their uncertain future where they both have big plans but don't know where it'll ultimately lead, right? And he asks like, hey, one day, however long it may be, in the future, want to get married? And she's like, yeah. And it's idealistic and naive, right? They're so young. But with how grounded the rest of the movie is, it's like, look, do we really believe that there wouldn't be any complications? No, this movie has demonstrated that at every turn there's complications, right? Maybe they end up getting married, maybe they won't down the line, but regardless, that joyful naivety is beautiful in and of itself, that idealism that they still both hold, as well as, once again, while it may have a certain element of naive idealism to it, it is still deciding your future. It is still making active choices for your future rather than letting just whatever happen. You're of course you can't perfectly control the strings of fate, but you can at least point the ship in the right direction and hope for the winds to take you where you want to go. You can influence the direction even if you aren't in full control. This is a great movie, Shaun.
Yeah.
This is, why the fuck have I never heard of this movie before now? Because straight up, I'ma say it, it's one of the best Ghiblis.
Yeah.
It's a top tier Ghibli.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
And the thing is, Robin, I wish I had an answer for you. I really do. But generally speaking, the other more popular Ghiblis usually overshadow this film.
That's great. This one, it's just a small, intimate story, right? With extremely charming characters and interactions. Absolutely beautiful throughout. Some really strong, nuanced messages about the creation of art and coming of age. And then just how they intertwine. It nails it on all fronts. And it does. You can tell, I mean, from the marketing, right, that there is a certain amount of, well, and like especially the cover and just like the vibe that it seems to give off and all that. It almost gives a sense of insecurity about how mundane it is, because it's like, oh hey, we got a little magical cat man.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah,
really.
no.
It's like we're just telling stories, and it's like, which I'm fine with. Once again, I was worried about like, all right, when the Baron shows up, is shit gonna become more plot centered in a way that I don't think works with the direction it's going? No, it's because it's all just part of the story that she's crafting, and that's great. That's charming.
Yeah,
and
because when I said Alice in Wonderland, I didn't mean literal magical world journey. It's perception and how you view the world, and a little bit of surrealism thrown in for funsies.
Yeah, and this has, Moon, the greatest chubby scrungle cat around, also called Muda. Later we see him just like with another family, showing just like living his own life, right? He's that cat, he's choosing his own path. He's untethered from whatever requirements would normally be upon him. It's so lovely. It's such a lovely fucking movie. It's a top tier Ghibli, which somehow just I had never even heard of before, which is insane, because it should be up there. People should be able to recognize it as one of the best. But maybe those who've seen it do.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Why is it one of the less seen ones? I don't. And it's like, oh, it's casual and mundane. And it's like, yeah, but like a lot of the best Ghibli are, I guess, because maybe it has less of a strong hook, right? Because even something like Kiki, where at least until the third act, it was also very casual and mundane. It's like, hey, look, little witch girl. Whereas this is just like, hey, this is a girl who's just living her life. She likes to read, decides to write later, has some friends. Like there's not a lot to grab onto for an initial hook, and that's probably why, but it's so good. And if you're worried like, oh, I've listened to the podcast so it's spoiled, it's not, because it does. Who the fuck gives a shit about the sequence of events? That's not the important part for this movie.
No, it's one of those films where you go in, you watch it, and you just let the experience wash over you, and it's wonderful, like a true Ghibli experience.
Good. Yes, like this is truly the distillation of what in my mind is Ghibli at its peak. I suppose like the one element it's like that's not maxed out on the Ghibli scale is weird imagination, where we get glimpses of that but not maxed out. But everything else, the attention to detail, the lived-in world, the humanity of the characters, with nuanced personalities and just such quiet but high impact moments, like all of that is so present here. It's so good, motherfuckers. Watch it, because statistically, you sons of bitches, even the ones who are like, yeah, I've seen a lot of the best Ghibli, for some reason you're skipping out on this one. Don't.
Like, I should emphasize, Rem, that the people who are true diehard Ghibli fans have seen and love this movie. It's as far as general audiences are concerned, because as I said previously, Ghibli is kind of like the normie version of, yeah, I watch anime.
Yeah.
But the people who say that are also the same people who haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies or Whispers of the Heart. Because in their minds...
but Grave of the Fireflies, I had heard of that one.
Oh, yeah.
This one, it hadn't even entered my awareness.
Yes, but the point still stands that when people think of Ghibli as a general sense, they think of like Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. Those are like, and Kiki's Delivery Service. Those are like the ones that usually pop to the forefront of everybody's mind when they think of Ghibli. Whereas, Whispers of the Heart is pretty much a lot of the best aspects of Ghibli distilled into the purest little film.
I cannot emphasize enough. It is in the highest echelon of Ghibli for me, right? It's throwing hands at the top. It's I don't think it'd be my number one, but I would need to think about it. It's a contender for number one.
Yeah, I mean, because I think your top two are currently occupied by, what was it, Totoro and Fireflies?
Yeah.
So it's and
I think we're just at, I think Whisper of the Heart is just being added as so those are my top three, I think.
Yeah.
These are my top three Ghiblis. Yeah. And they're also, I mean, I'm a broken record. They're the ones with the least amount of plot. They simply are. So things happen, and sometimes there's a direction that things are happening in, but very often things are just happening.
Yeah.
Which can often fail, but the way they do it, it's so good.
They're good films, Rem. They're good films. And even though your opinion on plot is very much in the minority, despite that, people still very much enjoy these films.
Hell yeah.
And it's a great film. And plus, you get to get blindsided by country roads.
That was wild. And once again, it thematically, it is extraordinarily relevant. Like, and it all makes sense. It's just, and then it's not just the once. It is the dominant motif. It is.
Yeah, because like it opens with like what's her name? Olivia something? Olivia's version, and then it ends with a Japanese version of it as well. Like it is sandwiched between country roads.
And you'll get different variations. You'll get instrumentals. You get the makeshift band version in the middle there. Like
Fallout could never. Oh, goodness. So, Rem, Mal score, what do you think? Whisper of the Heart. Because in your perspective, it is the least known of the films we've covered. But at the same time, clearly it's a fantastic film.
And there's probably like one or two that other Ghiblis that I like didn't know, but were likely more recent, right? Yeah. Normally, I feel like all the really old classic Ghibli, which this would be a part of, obviously.
Yeah, as of this year, this film is 30 years old, Rem.
That's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
I think on Mal, oh man, all right, it's a Ghibli, so it's gotta be high from the get-go.
Well, you'd say that.
That's its starting position is high. Hey, other modifiers can make it go down, but
it's true.
There's going to be Ghibli bias.
Yes.
While not as many people know of it, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's underrated, right? Under-recognized and underrated are different things. And so I think that, God, it's just so good. I'm gonna say it's gonna be an 8 point. I want to give it a really high rating, but I'm gonna temper that a little bit. Because there's going to be people who are like, nothing happens, there is no plot. Which is fairly accurate. They're not terribly wrong. No. There'll also be a small subsection of people who are like, I'm a furry and I was lied to. So I think Oh man, did the weebs like this much as I want them to like? I'm gonna say 8.29.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, just shy of 8.3.
Okay. All right. Like I said, been out for 30 years. So there's been plenty of time.
Lots of time.
Yep. It was apparently one of the highest grossing films of in Japan of the year it came out. So,
Good.
People love it. And we've had 222,000 ratings on it, which is
Good
quite
amount.
high.
That should be higher.
It should be higher. Like when you compare it to the one that is right above it, which is Kiki's Delivery Service. Kiki's Delivery Service has 400,000 reviews, so like nearly double the the reviews that Whispers of the Heart has. But with those 222,000 reviews, Whisper of the Heart is sitting nice at 8.22.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
A solid rating. It's one of the very rare cases. I would honestly probably rate it higher.
And if you were to look at the stat breakdown of it, the amount of people who think it's less than a 7 are below 7% of the ratings.
It's just so well done. It's so well crafted.
Oh yeah.
It's such good shit.
Yeah, and anytime I see like a negative review on this film specifically, I just get confused mostly. Like, because a lot of the way they're like, one person gave it a 3 out of 10.
Oh, why?
Let's see. Well, for one thing, they hate Take Me Home, Country Roads. that appears to be their first complaint. As well as they say that the animation is very conflicting and bad a lot of the time. So
what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Insane criticism.
That's what I said. Yeah,
look, if you watch this movie and you say like I'm bored and I didn't vibe with it, that's okay. All right, I genuinely, I heavily disagree. I get it. I understand. Being like the animation was bad, you've lost your fucking mind.
Yeah, and most of like the mixed feelings reviews are the like I wanted more fantasy. Which it's clear that they went into this movie expecting something that they weren't getting.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the way a lot of people will go into this film, because I mean they see a flying girl with a cat in a hat, like that's
yeah.
That is the case, but like hey gang, the magic is in the humanity. And I'm sure if you go into it with no expectations, you'll be pleasantly surprised. And if that's still not your thing, guess what? Ghibli has loads of magical films featuring cats and the like. So you're not struggling for content, let's just say. So yeah, I guess the final question I need to ask you, Rem, is there any chance you'd like to give this film another watch sometime?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just some top tier stuff. It's so good on so many levels.
And with that, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy Remington having 2 very positive episodes in a row, then please head on over where to get your podcast and leave us a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is still not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime out of context, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/anime out of context, where you get access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
As always, we'd like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are, it's hard to think of a yandere thing that ties in with
this soft, wholesome film, yeah.
Who are all dapper furries. I don't know. You're all dapper furries. There's got to be at least one yandere out there who's a dapper furry. All right, send all emails of dapper furry pictures from anime to.
No, stop that! I don't want it.
He wants them. He wants
I'm already a cat boy on the internet, and I'm already being inundated with. It's been years, man. There's so many Judy Hop references made towards me. The trailer for the fucking new film came out, and people are like, "Oh, you know who needs to see this?"
Just your notifications inundated with Zootopia 2.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure you didn't miss it, Shaun.
Believe me, don't think it would be possible.
On that list, we have Yandere Neko, Wolfire56, Where's Our DBZ Review You Ginger Fuck, Wes Kane, Oh to Be an Eldritch Chicken Dish, Week 25 of using my Patreon name to request code Geese, watching Requiem for Spoon Man at 0.5 speed, totally good, Titan CNH, The Susanator, The Danish Viking Will Conquer the World with Zoro as my navigator, That Time I Reincarnated as a podcast host and forced to weeb, Turban, Swaraj Verdi, Super Zoo, Stacy's Mom, Sparsy, Someone Marry Me, I Need the Tax Benefits, Shaun wants to give Spoon Man a thank and yank, Shaun thinks company towns are the optimal economy, Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he became the world's best fiddler, diddler, and riddler all at once. Shaun, quit something with my grandma, please! Shaun, in the quest for true gender equality, how many times have you gooned to Bunny Boy Gojo? Answer us, coward.
I can confidently say 0 for that. I can confidently say 0 for that one.
he doesn't wink to Bunny Boy Gojo. He just has a picture on his bedside table for when he makes love.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Shaun blocked my cock, from the shark plushie, sending Red Pill Rollins a Caitlyn Jenner poster for hope. Layers. There's layers.
There's layers to that, and I do not want to dive into them. That is a tiramisu I am throwing in the trash.
Ryan Moody, Ross Palmer, Rhiannon Williams, Remington is right. Remind me when we record again. Rem, we the people want you to talk more about Red Pill Rollins in the main parts of the episode. The Discord poll proves it. Rem was right. We haven't watched enough ecchi. Rem uses the drums of liberation for y'all weeps from that anime. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Red Pill Rollins stealing trans Shaun's estrogen. Red Venom. Professor Fox. Pro tips out of context is run out of things post. Will come back soon. Oh no, I got kidnapped from my cell. My little horse Rem. Miska wonders why a bunch of English writing appears hovering in the air in front of her every time she speaks. Macaroni Uchiha. Lucky Stars the King of Moe. Link Joe Girl. Linerd98. King Rich Rock. Cassidy. Jax. Jam Hands. Jake Dent. I'm selling Omega Shaun milk to make rent. I'm making Rem call Shaun ethnic slurs until you bring back the chef and a musketeer, Shaun, you suit peel. I showed my grandma Aunt Shirley and she watched it all by herself. Did I turn her into a weep? I can't believe I made an account for this. How romantically available is your mom? God. Glenn Michael Dolan. GE Bottom AK Bear Trap. Sorry for not changing the name, but new plan. I think I need to Batman my town. Fern the Fern. For Fem Rem and Schoolgirl Shaun in Estrogen Escapades Episode 1, Budding Breasts Bonanza. Farmer Weeb's Rem Choice of the Week. Being an anime isekai or an anime rom-com. Fantide, your fact of the week. French isn't a real language. Estrogen helps reverse hair loss. Erica McCorkle. That's all, folks. Dylan Appreciation Day. Danielle Riot. Betty Rum, tell me about that story about Shaun's nut. Calderius. Cheese Monkey. Brogard for Geodudes. Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Boring Siren. Blarf. Bendo Kato. Bakashin. Anime. Amazing Muffin. Aisha Gudgy. A moe piece of trash. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they going to get this week, Shaun?
They're gonna get an animated cat.
Perfect. On that list we have your friendly neighborhood Kami.
They're gonna get Artemis from Sailor Moon.
Umbrasite.
Azrael from the Smurfs.
Truckun Operator number 42.
You were very confused by that transition, weren't you?
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. You can have hey, there you go. You can have Baron Hubert von Geckingen from Whisper of the Heart.
That mouse girl.
Banjo from Banjo the Woodpile Cat.
Thanks to another patron, Allfather now has to have burgers and couturees for the 4th.
Beans from the Merry Melodies.
Tails Williams.
You can have Beerus from Dragon Ball Z Super.
Spoonman the Aristocrat.
Berlioz from the Aristocats.
Silent Secondary.
Billy the Cat from Billy the Cat.
Sean X Dillon Fan Club meets in the Big Hole today.
You're going to have Bonkers D Bobcat from a show called Bonkers, apparently.
It just feels like a bad parody of One Piece.
Yeah, hey man, if you weren't gonna make the a member of the D Clan joke, I was. I guess for some reason this Bobcat policeman has the will of D, which is concerning to say the least.
Shaun too, if you know what I mean. Let's see. I can't remember which one I was on. Sammy K is here to remind you that you just lost the game. Maybe that's the one I was on.
You can have Box Prince from Adventure Time.
Rose Cop.
You can have Buckley from Slacker Cats.
Rem still needs to watch Bandori, Maiko, and Ave Muchka, or else Katsumi will keep singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Because this list is alphabetical, it's not. This is funny to me. You're gonna have Butch from Tom and Jerry.
Power Cell waits for Crumbslut's Bakery to reopen to try the Red Pill Rollins Gingerbread Cookies with MAGA gumdrop buttons.
You can have Cake the cat from Adventure Time.
Nurikaza hashtag SONR soaking one nut Rollins.
You can have Choco Cat, the Sanrio character.
Monogatari's everything you ever said you want in anime. This week we are watching the freaking Watanabe or not?
You can have Doraemon from Doraemon.
Mike.
I guess you can have Fat Cat from Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Miguel DeLeon.
Felix from Felix the Cat.
I'd like to start a petition to replace the word brat with kudere.
Figaro from Pinocchio.
Hidden Otaku.
Fritz from Fritz the Cat.
Finally, Rem could have tits to match his ass, says Titaro.
My mortal enemy. You can have Happy from Fairy Tale / Eden Zero.
But of course, Dom and I, not drunk this time, watch Trigun because it's fun.
Heathcliff from Heathcliff.
Carver 271.
How about Jake, otherwise known as Razor, from SWAT Cats.
Beethoven 1201.
Gigi from Kiki's.
And now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Shaun, as Joey Wheeler, is going to... Oh man, I there's an idea I want, but I don't think it's good. And it also just doesn't fit the format like at all, so it's not... But I think they might appreciate. I think they might...
Well, I'm sure they'll let us know if they don't.
Where Shaun, as Joey Wheeler, is going to meow as a kind of cat that I am going to give him. As Joey Wheeler, I'm gonna describe a cat. He's going to meow as Joey Wheeler meowing as that cat. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
This is a horrible idea. Let's do it.
Patrons, you gotta take home the cats. On that list, we have Shaun Yellow Rapid Rollins, fastest piss in the West. And I would like to hear they get a scrungle cat.
So Joey Wheeler
doing a scrungle cat meow.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand. You get it.
Okay, here goes. Yeah.
Beautiful. What a healthy sounding cat that is. Next we have...
You asked for Scrungly.
It was Scrungly as all hell. Next up we got, I haven't been on top of things lately, but Shaun, I'd gladly change that to be on top of you. Oh, and you are gonna get the thickest cat you ever seen. It's the Clifford the Big Red Dog of cats.
Okay. As impressioned by Joey Wheeler, we have to emphasize. Yeah.
And last but not least, we have follow anime out of context on Blue Sky. How much of a weeb are you? What's MRM stand for? Oopau. And of course, on the Blue Sky, it helps you keep up with all the Shaun streams. You know, it's just a nice compendium of them. So it helps me know that Shaun only announces his streams via elves. That's the only way he communicates. Genuinely, I see like a dozen elf gifs when Shaun is announcing streams. It's so many.
There's so many to choose from, you know.
and the kind of cat you're taking home with you, you get a sexy cat girl.
As Joey.
As Joey Wheeler, I would like you now to meow as a sexy cat girl.
All right, okay. Hey, looks. Yeah.
Wow, that was sultry.
Look, man, Joey Wheeler. I don't know if Joey Wheeler can be sultry. I don't know if it's in his genes. Like, man, does he love My Valentine? But I don't know if he has the capacity to flirt with My Valentine, if that makes sense. It's like if I was trying to flirt with somebody. It just doesn't work. It doesn't happen.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, then you can send an email over to animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do 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 do.